What's up, netizens? You're watching DarkStar. There's Anthony. I'm joined by fellow reaction here. Joey, what's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
Sound a lot better than you did yesterday. I'm gonna be honest with
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Clean my nose.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a runny nose earlier. I thought maybe I was getting a cold or something, but it's better now. So I guess not. It's that immune system got rid of it already, dude.
Yeah, immune system's killing it, dude. Cranberry juice does the job.
That's true. Cran mango, dude. RWBY. Hopefully we see what happened with Oscar here. So let's go ahead and check it out.
You should have seen the look on Joanna's face. I don't think she'd ever lost a fight before that. At least, not fair and square.
Holy shit, has she been talking this whole time? She's trying.
Tough crowd tonight. Guess Ironwood should have paid for better cell block entertainment. And he smiles. Did I win?
Hey, it's your game. I don't make the rules.
I'm sorry for what happened. It wasn't your fault.
It was, though. I made a deal with the darkness, and he paid the price.
Thank you.
It's hard
Agreed.
so fast, but Clover wouldn't let up. Could have worked together against Tyrion if Clover just... But the thing that really stings, for the first time in a while, I thought, maybe I could be around somebody, anybody, without my semblance making it complicated. And now, it just feels like a childish dream. Gone. Like everybody else.
Believe it or not, I know a little of what that's like. When people are worried you're gonna sniff out their secrets, they tend to push you away. It makes a real connection difficult.
I never thought of it that way.
You don't get to keep that.
I didn't kill him.
You keep saying that. But it was your weapon covered in his blood.
If you really want to know what happened, Mohawk, why not open the cell and take my hand?
If I open the cell, it won't be to shake hands.
Yeah, because you don't care about the truth. You just want someone to be mad at. Easier than taking an honest look at what side you're on.
Air? What are you doing?
Nothing.
Well, that was almost exciting.
Facts.
Damn, I liked her in the beginning of that scene too. I was like, damn, she's actually being kind of charming right now.
He's going to lose us in
She
these
went
mountains.
right back to
We
bitch
can't
mode.
keep up. I don't know how much longer these bikes can stand the cold.
I'm really wishing one of us could fly right now.
Wait, hold on. Ren, going to get you up there.
Yeah, they're really lucky this thing keeps driving right along the fucking canyons that they can also drive in instead of fucking flying right to the right or left or
Slowing
something.
him down. Hold on, Ren. I don't have much of a choice.
He is getting fucking blasted right now. Go, go.
Yeah, you have to save the day per usual, dude.
Oh, nice. Oh.
Did it just call for backup? Here comes the
He's fucking wiping him out. He was blushing, dude. Grimex Oscar, who ships it? Doesn't really know
what it was.
It was kind of cool. If you could just knock it over, then like, not that great. But yeah, it was kind of cool. She used that already. Oh, smooth. Yeah, he gone. Oh, whale.
Oh, you've picked a fine time to...
Not another word. We're coming in.
Things are already bad enough after what you did to Father. Now you want us to harbor fugitives too? Our family has a reputation.
That's what you're worried about? Your reputation?
I'm just saying that we've already lost all the house staff. And Mother locked herself in her room.
Maybe you haven't figured out what's going on, Whitley, but we're busy trying to save Atlas.
Look, our friend is hurt. We just need a place to lay low while she rests, and then we'll be out of your way.
Fine. What do you expect me to do then?
Go to your room.
Oh, man. Ooh.
This way.
Oh, man.
Ruby,
I hope everyone's doing all right.
if you're worried about Yang, you could always try calling her.
But that's the thing. I did.
She did.
I repeat, if anybody can hear me. Let me transport back to Mantle.
We need to get out of this weather before the cold drops our ores completely. How much farther to the outpost?
Oh.
Ren, how much?
I
don't know.
I don't know what he's pissed about.
I thought you said you saw it when you were up in the air.
I did. Before I had to cut myself loose to help you guys.
Yeah, you've brought that up a couple times now. Something you need to say?
Not really. Wouldn't want to waste any more time.
Hey! What is your deal?
Don't worry about it.
Well, I'm sorry things aren't going smoothly enough for you.
Guys! They're not going smoothly at all.
I hate to break it to you, but that's part of being a huntsman.
Are you kidding? We don't know the first thing about being huntsmen. We clearly weren't ready.
Guys, stop it!
Were we not ready when we saved Haven? When we took down a Leviathan? We got the lamp to Atlas.
And then we lost it. And after that, when we had to make real decisions, we got every single one wrong.
I'm not going to pretend like we did everything perfectly. But if we'd done nothing, things would be even worse than they are now.
How could they possibly be worse? We are stuck out here while Salem has the lamp and Oscar. We've got no plan, no army.
We've got the Maiden.
And by keeping her from opening the vault for Ironwood, we're just trapping the whole city for Salem.
People are going to die because of us.
So what? We should just give Ironwood what he wants? Abandon Mantle? You think Atlas is still going to be able to float to safety now that she's here?
I don't know. But these aren't the kinds of decisions we should be making because we have no idea what we're doing.
Okay, both of you, cut it out.
I'm just saying what nobody else wants to.
Oh, I've been saying it too, Ren.
Ruby
I'm
is
with
barely
you.
more than a kid. I'm just an orphan from the middle of nowhere.
Ren,
You cheated your way into bacon.
Oh.
Damn.
Oh.
You don't think we should be huntsmen? Fine. But I'm getting out of the cult. Still got a job to do.
Seriously, is your goal just to push everyone away?
Fuck you, Yang.
Fuck you, Tony.
Oscar,
Just kidding. You're right.
don't panic.
We're going to be okay.
What?
My long-lost Ozma. Found at last. So small, this new host of yours. It's a wonder my hound didn't break you. It's been how many years since we saw each other like this, face to face? And nothing to say?
I'm sorry the reunion isn't living up to your expectations.
You can pretend, boy. But you're not fully him. Not yet, at least. Well, perhaps you and I can have a better working relationship. Oscar, was it? The beacon relic. My forces have been unable to locate the relic beneath the school. If I know my Ozma, he has used some means of deception to hide its location differently than the others. I need to know where it is.
That's not something I know about.
Of course. You would keep that one guarded as long as possible. How about something easier then? The password for the lamp.
The lamp is all out of questions.
What the hell? They got some crazy rainbow powers.
Lies come out of you so easily.
She did not like that answer.
Like-minded souls, indeed. One of you is going to tell me what you know. I don't much care if it is you or Ozma. Either way, I'll finally have the relic.
I won't tell you anything. Hazel? Wait.
That was for Haven Academy. Everything that follows will be for my sister.
Hazel's lame.
Your Grace, What is that?
An experiment.
That's Fido.
So far, I am pleased with the results. Did you need something, Cinder?
Who's your good boy?
Yes. I want to search for the Winter Maiden. I think...
Do you hear that, my pet?
Oh my god.
She thinks. She wants. As if she's done something that warrants me caring about either of those things.
We're just sitting and waiting. Without the Maiden power, the Vault means nothing. Let me claim it for you.
I will tell you when and where you are needed.
But Your Grace...
I'd like to think I have shown a great deal of patience over my many years walking Remnant. But I do hate repeating myself. You will remain here. Is that clear?
Yes. Yes, of course.
Cinder's a bitch.
Without you, I am nothing. I know what she said. I just want to check on something. We'll be back before anyone realizes. I want to see if anything is still going on at Amity Coliseum. Salem doesn't know those children like I do. They wouldn't just abandon their misguided attempt to save the world.
If she doesn't want to, I'll come. I've been working on my semblance. I can help. I won't tell anybody.
How much did you overhear?
I don't get why she didn't immediately get Emerald back. Emerald's like the most loyal fucking
You're right.
person in this goddamn show.
I did cheat my way into Beacon.
That's true.
And I'm glad I had people around me to help me see that I was bigger than that mistake. You've got people around you too. You don't have to force yourself to be strong. The more you hide from what you're feeling, the more alone you're going to feel. Trust me.
If anyone cares, I found a part to fix the bike. So, yay! Good news. For what it's worth, I'm sorry he said that to you. I know you've had to work hard to get here, Jean.
We're all under a lot of stress right now. I used to push people away too.
Be a shame if the fire went out and they had a cuddle for warmth.
Do you think she thinks less of me
That
for not
face.
helping out with Amity?
Ruby is your sister. She's always going to love you, even if you disagree with each other.
Yeah. Ruby.
I need to get some sleep, but I can't stop thinking about Oscar.
Go on. I'll make sure Ren doesn't brood himself to death
Fucking
out in the
John.
cold.
What an idiot, dude, thinking that Yang gives a fuck about her sister, dude.
Things always seem to get worse before they get better.
Oh, what is he, RWBY fans?
Oh shit. Ha. Ha. The title.
I was like, damn,
It's called
alright,
Paul.
they're trying to fucking do something with this fucking RWBY Yang relationship that they've kind of abandoned over the course of like several volumes for Yang Blake or whatever. And then she's like, oh yeah, RWBY, that's definitely who I was talking about for sure. Not Blake,
RWBY
that's for
for
sure.
sure.
It's all about Blake, baby.
You can't help who you love, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of can, but
And it makes it so you fucking literally don't care about your sister anymore. It's nuts. Alright, well, Robin was pretty chill at the beginning of this, honestly, in my opinion. I thought she was pretty, chillax. I mean, it is, the thing for me is I wish, if the door would have opened, then it would have been interesting to actually see what would have happened. But it felt like the implication to me was that she actually was going to attack had the chick opened the door. And it seems like that's still going to happen at some point. Basically, like she's trying to goad her into there so that they can fucking try to escape and attack her or whatever, as opposed to trying to give her the truth, which I think would be pretty in line with her character so far, right? Like she speaks very righteously or whatever, but in reality she's like a super sneaky, like backstabby type person or whatever. So that's what kind of got me at the end with Robin out of that scene. That's why I didn't like it or whatever. But at the beginning she was being pretty cool. She was trying to console Crow in a pretty good way, I felt like, even though Crow pretty much deserves to not be consoled and not at all. I did like the fact that they kind of explicitly came out with the whole Crow liking Clover because of the fact that he didn't have to worry about his semblance or whatever, which I think is pretty much his entire character arc up until this point. So did a good job with that. I like that scene. That's pretty much all that happened with that. Weiss and them show up to their house. Weiss is explicitly told by their mom, hey, you know, Whitley's kind of been fucked over too. That's the last conversation that Weiss had about Whitley or any sort of thing or whatever. And of course she comes back into the house and treats him like shit because that's what their family does. Yeah, I mean, if I was Whitley in that scenario, like, not even trying to be nice. Like, if they would have been nice, maybe something would have been different. If I was Whitley, I'm going straight to the phone, calling Ironwood, and telling them they're there. Like, and not even, like, I don't think he should, like, I don't think that would be a good move for him, or whatever, in terms of, like, morality or whatever. But, like, you fucking, I mean, I don't understand, like, what the fuck she's thinking. Like, they just treat it like shit, and you know, she knows. It's actually so dumb, because she knows Whitley actually cares about their dad, even though she obviously doesn't, and she doesn't care about Whitley, and she doesn't care about their mom. She only cares about Winter and herself, basically, right? She doesn't care about the rest of their family, and she knows that he does. Whitley does care, so like Whitley immediately is going to fucking call up, even if he still cares about Weiss, which arguably he does. I think Whitley cares much more about their family than she does. Anyway. But even if he does, he doesn't matter. Like, if he does, he calls Ironwood up and says, look, make an exception for Weiss, you can come get everybody else, and then let my dad go. And those are the two things I want you to do. And, like, that's such an obvious move for Whitley to do now. Maybe it would have been different if they would have came in and they were kind of nice to him and like, hey, this is what we're doing, this is why we think we should do whatever. Maybe Whitley still goes behind their back, but then it would be an asshole thing to do. Now it's not an asshole thing to do, because they come in and they're just total assholes to him. Like, he absolutely should just go straight to Ironwood and be like, look, my dad, for these fucking people that just crashed into my house and told me to eat a dick, like, yeah, 100%. I'm taking that deal every single day. Like, so dumb. Such bad fucking, such a bad idea for Weiss. I don't understand that, that move from her or whatever, but she's super cocky ever since she arrested her father. So I guess that's just like her character now. Ren's outburst. What do you think about that?
I mean, I'm real lost on his character right now, honestly. I don't know exactly what he wants to do yet. He seems confused as well. I don't get the attacking Jean thing, though.
Well, I think he was just pissed and he just lashed out.
Yeah, true. Well, I mean, he didn't apologize. I mean, even at the end, they had time to cool down, it seems like, and he still was kind of pissed and went outside and sat by himself.
Well, I would have been pissed at that as well, because Jean's not doing anything to affirm what he's saying. Ren's got a point. It'd be different if Ren had no point and he was just lashing out for no reason. But I'd be pissed too if Jean came over to me and it's just like, hey, buddy, look, I've been completely wrong about everything too. And I've been a total asshole to everybody. And I've been a real piece of shit. So I know where you're coming from, dude. I understand. Like, that's basically what he came up and said. If he would have come up and said, like, I see where you're coming from. Like, I understand, like, blah, 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 blah. Like, I get where you're coming from here. But, you know, you still need your friends, etc., etc. And then that was the conversation. Maybe there's a different interaction there. But Jean basically came up and said, yeah, you know, Yang, she was really right in that scenario. And you're just a real piece of shit. So, I mean, if you want to apologize to us, we're here to accept it. I just want you to know we're good enough people to accept how wrong you were and let you back into our like little circle. So just let me know when you're ready to apologize. Like, of course you're not going to fucking be like, oh yeah, for sure, thanks. Like, to that. Like, makes no sense. But anyway, yeah, but yes, obviously he didn't have to go after Jean. He was just pissed about that. So that was the thing that he did wrong. That was kind of another one of those things where I think the RWBY writers were writing and they were like, fuck, dude, we just made Ren go off and he had a lot of really good points. What's a way that we can make Ren look like the bad guy here? Oh, let's have him turn around and just fucking yell something at Jean that's really fucking personal. All right, sweet. Dude, Ren's the bad guy now and Yang's the good guy. Sweet. Good job, guys.
Got it. Stay on track, dude.
The only thing I don't understand about Ren is why he went with them. I don't understand why he went with them and he didn't go with Team RWBY and do the Amity stuff, because since he generally believes that that plan and fucking Ironwood's version of that plan or whatever is the better plan. So I don't understand why he decided to go with Yang. The only thing I can think is that he felt, or he just generally speaking wants to like do something. Like, he feels like he's not doing something, so he needs to be like, he needs to be in the action protecting people, etc., etc., as opposed to like doing like covert ops type of stuff, even though he no that's
the Oscar thing too. Like,
do you think he wanted to just protect Oscar?
Oh yeah,
maybe. Yeah, I think that does make some sense for sure as well. I just think generally speaking, like, considering what side he's on, I feel like they were kind of, they wanted Ren and Yang to have this blow up, so they kind of maybe pushed Ren toward that group or whatever. I think maybe more in line with what I would expect them to be. I think you flip Nora and Ren. I think Nora probably should have went with this group and Ren should have went with the other group based on what they've established as their kind of motives or whatever. But that's not really that big of a deal. It's just something that I thought about this episode with Ren. But in general, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with Ren's full reasoning. I don't think it necessarily has to do personally for me. I mean, there's definitely an element of experience that comes into play where Ren is kind of coming from a logical place as well, where it's like, we're talking about people that have actually dealt with this kind of stuff well, maybe not necessarily this kind of stuff, but actually like know what they're doing or whatever. And instead, especially, it would have been interesting as well if he would have potentially tied it back into things started going south ever since we stopped having Crow lead us and we started having Ruby lead us. Because if you remember, that was kind of like a whole thing at one point. I think during whatever season they fought the old chick in the mech or whatever, they basically, Ruby was like, listen, Crow, you can come with us, but I'm in charge now, and fucking whatever I say goes, and you can just kind of be a sidekick, Crow, or whatever. So I think Ren could have potentially brought that up. It's like, ever since fucking we stopped listening to an actual huntsman in Crow, I don't know how the dialogue might have been awkward, or it might have been a lot. Obviously, you would have to write it better than I'm saying it, or whatever, but ever since we stopped actually following a real huntsman in Crow, fucking everything's basically gone downhill from there. So could have tied it in with something like that. He's coming from a interesting spot there, but I think more of just like, I still think that there's just a moral conundrum there, right? Like, abandon the few to save the many is a position that you can morally justify. I'm not saying it's the right decision. I'm just saying you can morally justify it. If you believe either everybody's going to die or only some people are going to die, you obviously want to choose the some people are going to die. It's just a difference in like how they actually view the situation or whatever. And Ren's coming in with a good point. These guys are taking the immature view, arguably, or whatever, because they're immature, because they're not ready, because they don't understand the actual scope of things or whatever. So I think Ren's coming in with a good perspective with that. And I think the show needs to continue, or it needs to just make sure it doesn't try to lean towards saying like, no, that's not even a discussion. Like, you just always save everybody, and there's never a scenario where you fucking ever have to even think about it. You don't have to worry about it because you can just always save everybody every time. Like, that doesn't make any sense or whatever. So Ren's coming in with a much more realistic perspective. So I think that whole conversation with that was good. What else we got? Salem, the scene with Salem and Oscar. What do you think about that?
I mean, not much really. She's gonna fucking torture him until he tells him something. But didn't they actually use the wishes?
There's one. No, there's one left. There's one left. There's
Oh,
one question
okay.
left. There were 2 questions left. I asked one. There's one left.
Okay, and then she's going for like years, thousands of years, right?
What?
And that's the 2 questions you can't ask for like 1,000
You
years.
get
or
3 questions per. I think it was like 100 years or something like that. But I could be wrong about that. Maybe it is longer. I'm not sure. But
I mean, she's gonna keep fucking with him, and Ospen's gonna speak up and tell her how to do it to save Oscar. He's gonna wind up telling her.
You think so?
I think Ospen will.
Maybe.
And you also have fucking Cinder leaving, even though she was told specifically to stay there.
Yeah. Yeah, she just immediately leaves.
Don't fucking leave. All right, we want peace.
I mean, I think it's a weird dynamic. I'll get to that in a second. Just real quick on the Hazel thing. I don't really like Hazel's thing that much. I don't think his backstory makes it's like he's perpetually in the state where he first heard the news. And it's just like, after a certain period of time, you get back to a rational state. You know what I'm saying? Where like, you kind of think, and you're like, logically like, okay, well, she decided to go to this academy, and then she fucking got killed or whatever. Or, I can't remember the exact story, but I'm pretty sure it was something like that. That she went to the academy and had an accident, or she was working under him and she got killed by. I don't remember exactly the thing or whatever, but she was like young or whatever. At some point, you sit back and you're just like, you could even still have your vendetta, but you wouldn't like every single time you see the guy be like, ah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the first time he heard the news that his sister was dead, he was probably like fucking like losing his mind, right? And like now that's just how he always is if he sees fucking Oscar. I don't think that's how that would actually happen. I think at some point he would kind of sit down and just like, eventually, even if he still believed like it was Oscar's fault, I think like he would calm down about it at some point. You know what I mean? He'd just be like,
yeah,
John Wick style, just like, yeah, I need to kill Oscar, but like I'm not gonna like go around fucking screaming about it like or crying about it all the time.
I'm not gonna be a 10 out of 10 every time.
Yeah, but anyway, as in regards to the Cinder thing, it's actually kind of interesting. So obviously Cinder is fucking terrified of Salem, But I think Cinder realizes, or maybe she doesn't realize and they just decided to go with this anyway, or whatever, that Salem still kind of needs Cinder here. Like, pretty badly. Especially, Cinder's already got the Fall Maiden powers, right? So she doesn't want to, like, kill Cinder, and then the Maiden powers go to somebody else, right?
Yeah,
And then
she
they
has
gotta
to go
also
out.
go find the Fall Maiden powers. And in addition, she doesn't really have a lot of young females under her employ. The only one you could even argue, the only other one, Neo's kind of there, I guess, now. But the only other one besides that would be Emerald, right? All the other ones are guys, right? So she doesn't have any other young females that could take the Maiden powers. So she kind of needs Cinder, regardless of how she treats Cinder and how, like, you know, terrifying she is and how fucking she makes it seem like, you know, I might kill you at any moment. She really can't. She needs Cinder in order to get all the Maiden powers or whatever, because she doesn't really have anybody else that's going to do it. Nobody's scared of Emerald. Emerald's not going to go around and collect the fucking Maiden powers. She doesn't want to lose the Fall Maiden power. And Neo doesn't really work for her and probably wouldn't agree to do that. She'd probably just fucking disappear or whatever. So she actually needs Cinder. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic. Obviously, Cinder is still going to be terrified of Salem. She can't do anything about her. But at the same time, she should realize that Salem can't really do anything to her either. She comes back, maybe Salem's gonna yell at her a little bit, but what the fuck else is she gonna do? Torture her a little bit, I guess.
Give her
Like,
another grim arm.
yeah, I guess. I don't know. So, like, I don't know. She has to assume that if she actually did come back with the Winter Maiden powers, the worst she's gonna get is a slap on the wrist. You know what I mean? Like,
That's true.
I didn't tell you to do that. It's like, yeah, but I got him. It's like, don't do that again. Okay.
Thanks for getting him, though.
Peace. I'm gonna go get the Spring Maiden powers now. Like, so yeah, I don't.
How dare you?
Yeah. So that's kind of an interesting thing I didn't really think about, because when she first did it, I was just like, how is Cinder gonna fucking leave after that, knowing that fucking Salem's about to fucking murder her ass? And I was like, well, actually, Salem's not gonna do anything to her because she actually needs her quite a bit or whatever. So, yeah. Do you think Neo's going with them, or do you think it's just gonna be Cinder Emerald? I think it's all three of them, right?
I think all three will go.
Yeah, agreed.
It would look really weird if Neo just stayed, because then what's her name will be looking around like, where's Cinder? If Neo's like by herself. So that would make sense.
Hope she's got those signs ready.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. And then I guess we got some sort of grim thing coming out of the ice here at the
Fault,
end.
dude. Must be a big deal because it's the name of the episode.
Oh yeah.
Fault.
Double meaning, fault, and then obviously everybody's blaming each other or whatever. Oh yeah, and then obviously, and then you've got.
I thought about fault breaking. But,
I feel like they added this shit on purpose. Honestly, the part where like, John is talking about how Ruby likes cares about Yang because they're sisters, blah 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 blah. Because that's been a complaint of the show, is that Yang and Ruby's relationship has fucking suffered because they've focused so heavily on the Yang Blake thing or whatever. Like the famous example of it was when they were fighting the apathy, the ones that were like down in that cellar. If you remember them, the ones that made everybody like whatever in that town,
like real sleepy and droggy or whatever.
Yeah,
like they were like training them.
Yeah. So in the scene where they're getting ready to like run out or whatever, they're getting ready to run out. Yang grabs Blake's arm and like runs out and just leaves Ruby there or whatever, and people are just like. It's like, wow, Yang, so you don't give a shit about your sister being stuck in there or still in there or whatever, but you got to get Blake out of there or whatever. So, like, that was, like, a whole thing. And so, like, the community in general, like, obviously, there's people who really love the show, people who are critical, people who are in the middle, blah, 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 blah. But either way, it's generally known, like, that that's been a criticism. And so it's funny to me that they added in that thing, and then they're just like, no, she was talking about Blake. I thought that cracked me up. I feel like they put that on purpose just to take shots at those people or whatever. Thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, other than that, I thought it was a pretty good episode. Flowed by pretty quickly. How long was it? Yeah, wow. 19-minute episode too. Yeah. So I think that was actually, considering how quickly that went by, and it covered like a lot of different locations and conversations and stuff like that, and there was a little bit of action in there. So yeah, I thought that was a pretty good episode overall, in my opinion. All right, well, next week we will check out the next episode. Tell us to bright. Catch you on the dark side.